My name is Sunita Biharie, and before I start, I really want to do something with you all. You all have to do as I command, okay? There's no choice for you, okay? Put your right hand up. Okay, and now put it on your mouth. Okay, thank you. Don't ever do that again, okay? Don't ever let anybody command you to shut up or do anything in life, okay? You got a beautiful inner voice, and that will lead you. Don't let your inner voice be tamed, okay? When I got the invitation to speak, I said yes, not because I think I'm special, but because I'm like you all. We're all different kind of people, and with our differences, we can all inspire each other and learn from each other. So that's the reason why I say yes to this. The reason I actually came here is to share. I want to share my story about who I am. So let's do that. Most of the times, I share my love and spirit by fighting against racism, discrimination, sexism, poverty, and things like that. First, I would like to share part of my past with you all. My past is a nightmare, but the life experience is a great gift. What I'm going to share with you all is that great gift, okay? It may seem like a sad story, but look at me. Do you see a sad girl standing there, or do you see a strong woman standing there? Remember that when you listen to the story of my past, okay? When I was born, till the age of 3, I lived at home with my parents and a sister. My daddy was an alcoholic. He was beating my sister, mother, and me. He also sexually abused me and my sister. My mother was in an arranged marriage. There were 3 times when she was beaten so bad that she was laying in a hospital fighting for her life. After that, she chose to divorce him. She was one of the first Hindu women in the Netherlands who went against the traditionally family rules. Traditionally, in the Indian culture, a woman cannot choose a divorce. Up until this day, she is my biggest hero. She was a feminist. She fought for the rights of her girls and herself. I'm a feminist too. Some people think that I'm a man-hater, but I'm not. I'm an asshole hater. There's a difference, you know? I don't hate balls, because I've got my own lady balls. At the age of 3, me and my sister were taken from our home by the youth care office and placed in a children's home. 1.5 years later, my sister was placed in a foster home, where she was sexually abused by her foster father for 7 years long. I was left behind. Some of the boys started to sexually abuse me in the children's home. This happens still today with other girls, you know. Corine Detmeijer, who is a national reporter for sexual violence, she did research. And the report shows that even these days, 1 out of 3 girls in the Netherlands are sexually abused. Let's not kid ourselves. Sexually abuse leaves scars for the rest of your life. But later on in life, I decided I'm not my abuse. My father was an asshole, you know, but I'm a fucking queen. Come on. If we take a strawberry, some people will enjoy it as a juicy, sweet fruit. Other people will leave it behind, rotten, and then say, gross, look at that strawberry. But is the strawberry nice, juicy, or is it gross? I think it's none of them. A strawberry is what a strawberry is. It all comes down to the person who is buying that strawberry and how he treats the strawberry. Sexual abuse says nothing about the child, only how it's being treated by other people. Now something else. There are people who are saying, this strawberry is not good enough, it should be yellow like a banana. So let's talk about how color influenced my life as a child. When I was 6 years old, the youth care office placed me in a foster home with white parents. There were some children who weren't allowed to play with me because of the color of my skin. Many times they shouted things to me like, "Monkey, Black Pete, you're dirty, go and shower, you like poop," and things like that. Instead of crying about this, I defended myself by not needing any child to play with. At that age, I did not speak, and I never showed my feelings. If I were white, I wouldn't have grown up with this problem. It's a fact that in our society, a white skin gives you privilege. We have a name for it. It's white supremacy. The things I'm going to say right now might make some of you feel uncomfortable, okay? It made the whole society feel uncomfortable the last few years. So I don't blame you. I don't have the intention to hurt anyone, but I won't let my voice be tamed. There's a traditional children's party on the 5th of December. In that party, there's a figure we called Black Pete. It's a human being with black painted skin, with frizzy black hair, a wig, red painted lips, looking like blackface. Now, I can talk with you about why I think that's racism. I can tell you about the stereotyping and what it does with some children, like my own son who came home and said, "Mommy, I don't want to live anymore if I cannot be white." Or other children who are scrubbing under the shower so they will become white. But I won't, because the core of the problem is the system. Racism affects every aspect of life. It's in a children's party, but also in our education, our police system, economic, and much more. There's a big difference in being white and not growing up with racism, and being black and growing up with racism in every aspect of life. Just think about it for a moment, okay? How would you feel if everywhere you go, the color of your skin works against you? Maybe what I said just now is something you don't agree with. That's okay. We need a conversation with respect and empathy. We have the freedom to speak, but there's no conversation if we don't use our freedom to truly listen to each other. Then, and only then, we can start to inspire each other with a difference like we are doing today. When I was 13, I had enough of it. I ran away from home. And I lived on the streets. And believe me, when you're living on the streets, you do anything for a red strawberry, really. Instead of that, I lived on stolen M&Ms and stolen cigarettes. Lucky enough, the police never caught me, okay? I know what it's like to burn your school books just to keep you warm while you're thirsty and hungry. When I saw the story about suspended coffee on Facebook, I started this concept in Apeldoorn. It's simple and beautiful. For example, you buy 2 strawberries. One of them you eat yourself. Then somebody who can afford it or who is living on the street can get that strawberry for free. You already bought it for that person. In Apeldoorn, we have different kind of projects. From coffee to meat, whatever is possible. We are really a sharing town, so that's great. We have around 10 business owners who support this concept. And it's still expanding. So if you like this idea, feel free to do something with that spirit, okay? Because even in Apeldoorn, there are hundreds of children who still have not enough food. The thing that I don't understand is that politicians are busy rewinding the tiles in the city Because what does a child with an empty stomach benefit from walking across new tiles? I don't understand that. We got enough money. I think the problem is sharing. I'm a part of a political party which runs a campaign we call There's Enough for Everybody. How can we accept that there are people in the Netherlands who don't get their basic need like healthcare? How can we allow that older people or disabled people must move because they don't get the help they need? I fight against poverty. In my life, I had over 130 social workers who were trying to tell me who I had to be and what I had to work on. Most of them just fucked up my life. In an institution, the cost of this was €250 each day. There's enough money, only the way we spend it is wrong. I was always a fighter, not always on a way that makes me proud. Some of you know me here from that time, yes. Not always on a way that makes me proud, okay? When the youth care office found me on the streets, I was sent to youth prison because there wasn't any room anywhere else. Not because I was criminal, no, because there wasn't any room anywhere else. I was now living between criminals. The first few weeks, I was very scared and beaten a lot. One day, I hit back and I won. I didn't know I could fight, but that was what I did from that day on. And I was good at it. I really beaten up some people behind beds. I had to go to court for 4 times. Back then, I thought I had no choice. It was beat or be beaten. My mom died when I was 14. The way she died is unsure. The police said it was suicide. But there were many things pointed in the direction of murder. That was the moment I really didn't give a fuck anymore. Just one thing was on my mind. Nobody will ever, ever hurt me. I will do anything to beat the world. When I was 19, I became pregnant unplanned it. And many people, like the social workers, told me to do an abortion. The numbers would say that there was a big chance I would be a violent and sexual abuse mother. But I'm not a number, you know. Fuck all the numbers, for real. Research, reports, fuck them. I decided to keep my baby. And I decided I'm going to be a great and loving mother. My inner voice told me this boy deserves a life and I can do it. So my son was born. And you know what? I created a miracle. Everything changed it. The day he was born, my heart was finally feeling unconditional love. I would do anything for him to give him the life he deserves. And I started fighting on another way. I started and successfully ended my education and became a social worker. I started to share my story with the same passion and power that I used to fight against the world, to saving myself. I was now fighting to heal the world to make it a better place for my son, but also for other people. I've got different projects. One of them is Your Right to Speak and Stand Up. It's a media project with a website, forum, and we also do protests. We give attention to stories and subjects which have a taboo or do not get a lot of attention from the mainstream media. Our vision is you don't have to be a woman to be a feminist. You don't have to be black to be against racism. You don't have to be gay to be against homophobic. And you don't have to be poor to be against poverty. All we need is your voice and empathy. Fighting is also fighting for one society in which we can have a decent conversation. between people who are thinking differently. My message to the world: let your inner voice speak. The question isn't who's going to let you, the question is who's going to stop you. The biggest problem is that normally is highly overrated in our society. Instead of being and doing what other people want you to do or be, listen to your inner voice and do what you want to be and be who you want to be. Don't say, why me? Say, try me. If you want something, go get it. Nobody is in charge of your happiness except you. At any given moment, you have the power to say, this is not how the story is going to end. Nobody knows you and your quality better than you know yourself. And last but not least, share your empathy. If something is not a problem to you personally, don't think it isn't a problem at all. Just realize you got a privilege. If you are all going home, I would like you to take a moment to look around you. There are many people living in shitty situations. What I really wish is that you listen with the ears of another, feel with the heart of another, and see through the eyes of another. Let's do that together, and let's make together the world a better place. I will stand by your side as a friend, so please don't let our voices be tamed. Before I end, I want to do something. It's the last thing I do, okay? You all have to do as I command you, okay? Put your right hand up and put it to your mouth. Okay, big applause for yourself. Great.